What up? This is the First Drive Podcast. Back another week of college football, specialized in SEC football. How everybody doing?
Pretty good there. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good, man. I can't complain.
Can't complain. Well, let's go and get started. This past week, uh, some big stories we're gonna cover is like Alabama bounced back from Wisconsin, Texas A&M thriller over Notre Dame, Miami versus South Florida battle of unbeatens, Georgia road test at Tennessee, and some other SEC shakeups. Okay, we're gonna go and get started. All the roll Tide fans, Alabama versus Wisconsin. Tide rebound after the first week, lost to Florida State with a convincing home win over Wisconsin. Some of the key plays like defensive strength stands. The quarterback played good. The run game was decent. The first question: how does this affect Kalen DeBoer time at Alabama? Is he still on the hot seat? Does this buy him some breathing room, or does this delay his time at Alabama right now?
I still say it's like right at the same as it was when he lost to Florida State. You know, he shouldn't have lost that game.
He most definitely still in the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen. All I know is if Dabo Sweeney continue to have a bad year,
It's over with.
that's something to look out for, Junior, because Dabo Sweeney said, and I know we're gonna talk about Clemson, I guess, but Dabo Sweeney said to the media that I can find another job if Clemson doesn't want to keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
Now look,
That's a shot.
he's
a fact, though.
Right. He's an Alabama alumni, and I think the people are willing to be paid. They'll be willing to pay that buyout.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I don't want to get too ahead of myself now because Dabo don't want to he behind the times with that NIL. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But to answer your question, to me, he in the same spot. He got no one really expects them to beat Georgia, but it's some more games on that schedule that are must win. So he got to show up, and his team got to show up.
Yeah, he do got to show up because there's a lot of games on the line this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I give him this year. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get out that hot seat because the expectations are too high. The talent is there.
I ain't lying.
That's why I was saying last week, as far as that, I know you want to give your first string quarterback the confidence and the let you know that I'm behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what is that wiggle room as far as all right, my job is on the line. So do I pull him? But he been playing good though. So
Mm-hmm.
that just saying when they get tested for real, when they play against Georgia and down the line LSU, when they get tested for real. Florida State bust them in the mouth, bust them in the mouth.
Yeah, they did.
They ain't realize Florida State gonna be a test for them. Or they ain't realize they're gonna have a test until they get in the SEC play. And they got busted in the paw in the first week. So if it's any time to beat any team, it's the first week anyway.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So, well, the boy, you better keep winning. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you because that leash ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah, it's a short leash. I will say this, Junior. If he managed to beat Georgia or LSU, it's gonna take some of the pressure off for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He got to beat Auburn though. Like, there's no way he can lose to Auburn this year. And what's going on now, like he can't lose to Auburn, man. That'll be bad business if we do. But that's all I got on it.
I
but
ain't
he
gonna
can't.
lie. He can lose every game, but don't lose to Auburn.
I think he's still in the hot seat if it just say he beat Georgia, right? Like Nick said last week, he beat Georgia, but he lose to a team that he should win against. He might be on the worst hot seat because they're showing inconsistency as far as winning. You don't
Yeah,
want to team either, so uh,
yeah, true. Yeah, that's true in a way, but I mean, Lane Kiffin been doing the same thing. Lane Kiffin just fine. So I don't necessarily say that's gonna like if he beat Georgia and he lose to like another team that they're not supposed to lose to. I think that the strength of beating Georgia I keep him just long enough. They just gonna say you're gonna have to show it up because we need you to be consistent. But I don't think that would be worse because um beating Georgia, LSU, Auburn. I think we play Tennessee. Beating Tennessee, I those are the key. Those are
mm,
the key games. So if he's able to do that, then I think that would, and if he loses to some mediocre teams, we're gonna be mad. But I mean, I don't think that's enough to get him fired. Now, if he go and lose to all them damn teams, and then he turn around and lose to Auburn, yeah, they're gonna get rid of his ass.
yeah, they gonna get rid of him.
Mhm.
I don't know. Y'all saw Nick Saban, the crew Saturday asked the boy what he think about was there too much pressure on him as far as come to the SEC for Alabama. And, I don't know. Y'all heard the boy answer. Well, of course, that's politics. So he had to answer like that. He kind of threw it off a little bit while Nick Saban was up there. Uh, Basically, he was just saying that he grew up waiting for this moment uh, to live in this moment. So he had to he separate everything that comes with it. That's basically what he's saying, which is a good answer.
Yeah, that's
But
a good answer. That's a good answer.
mhm. So uh, he messed up by the defense coordinator. I'm just saying that. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
keep.
standing on that. That
He should have
motherfucker got
never.
to go.
Mm. All right, let's move on to the game of the night. I don't know why we skipped the evening game, but we're gonna go to the game of the night. Texas A&M versus Notre Dame. Number 16 Aggies beat out number 8 Irish, Notre Dame. The offensive firework, there were 488 yards for A&M with a clutch
Mhm.
fourth quarter score. Uh,
Mhm.
Notre Dame's missing extra point looms large and 1 point loss. The playoff implications for both A&M rise, but Notre Dame hopes fade. So you watched a little bit of that game, Kim, or got some
Yeah,
highlights?
yeah. I saw a little bit of it. I want to say, man, I told y'all, man. Remember before we did the last podcast, we didn't even talk about this game, and I said when you asked right before we got on the podcast, I said watch out for that game. I said it's going. Texas A&M might pull it out, and pause, and they did, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it was. I'm shocked, man, but I don't know if Texas A&M gonna make it. I think it's over with for Notre Dame. I mean, I don't know if they play Miami. I mean, no, they already played Miami. Excuse me. I don't know if they play like Florida State. I don't know who else they play on the schedule, but I think it's over with for them, bro. They lost to Miami and then turned around and lost to Texas A&M.
Ain't lying.
You ain't got no conference championship game to fall back on. Yeah, it's over with.
And there's too many good teams because of course you're gonna have Ohio State in the playoffs. Who will come
Mhm.
out? Michigan ain't that good this is.
No,
No.
no, 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 no. Oregon gonna be in there.
Yeah, Oregon. I'm talking about
Um,
outside the SEC. Oregon, Ohio State. Clemson got 2 games, 2 losses, right?
yeah, it's over with. It's over with. It's not that much.
If they run the table, it depends on
Uh,
everybody else. They run the table from now on. They still, I don't think they should get in, but
Nah, because it's too many teams that's like,
it's right there.
yeah, and those two losses, like I mean, the LSU loss, but that Georgia Tech loss, depending on what Georgia Tech do for the rest of the season, yeah, like it's gonna be dependent on that, on how the committee weighs that loss. Because if Georgia Tech run the table, then it's gonna look good for Clemson. If LSU run the table, that's also gonna look good for Clemson. So that's about the only way. But if Georgia Tech stumble, it's over with for Clemson.
Damn. It is over. So well, let's go on. Let's move on to me the best game of the weekend. Georgia's versus Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia survives Rocket Top over overtime thriller in Knoxville. Georgia went into Neyland Stadium and walked out with a win, but without a fight. The Bulldogs need an overtime, fourth down magic, and a gusty performance from Gunnar Stockton to edge. Pause. Number 15, Tennessee. Some of the game recap. Georgia trailed at 21-7 early, but came back behind the quarterback. They were down 38-30 late in the fourth quarter. Stockton hit Humphrey for a 28-yard TD on 4th and
Mm-hmm.
6, followed by a successful two-point conversion to tie. Then in overtime, Nate Frazier 21-yard run set up Josh McCray's messing up today game winning 1-yard touchdown plunge. So
Mm-hmm.
I watched a little bit of the game. It was them old times when it was no joke. It was a good game though. Good hard fought SEC type game. Put it like that. That's SEC football I like. What y'all take on that game?
Dion.
I didn't get the chance to see it. I had to, what I'm saying, I was up there working on Saturday, but I didn't get the chance. But I heard a lot about it though. I heard a lot about it. I had caught up on it on ESPN, and yeah, they said they was pretty much talking about it a whole lot. So
Yeah, it was to me it was
yeah,
the best game of the weekend. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah, for
they were
sure.
pretty much saying yeah,
It
yeah.
was the best game of the weekend. Tennessee, they came out. They had that stadium rocking, but hey,
Yeah.
Georgia, backed up behind their coach. Hey, they held it down though. So,
And let me
but
tell you.
that's a good win, and that's a motivation win as well. They letting them
Yeah,
know they can win this early at Tennessee. That
Mm-hmm.
good of a team.
Mm-hmm.
They let you show the will that they have. That's a
yeah,
championship team. So.
yeah.
Um, Georgia should have lost this game. To
mm,
to to me to me, if I'm Tennessee's head coach, I'm pointing the fingers at two people. Well, it's more people, but for me, I'm pointing the finger at myself from the head coach and the kicker. Listen, I know a lot of times we love to get on the kickers, but look, let's keep it real. As a kicker, what you do?
kick.
You kick the ball, bro. You got to
Bro,
make the field goal. You got to make the field goal. And then the reason why I blame the head coach is because, like, bro, I don't know what type of plays they were running for this man. All they had to do was, instead of winding the clock, I mean, if they want to wind the clock all the way down, Junior, all they should have did was the quarterback should have just stepped right over to the right. Let's get the football in the middle of the field, bro. You doing it to where the man got to kick it and make the ball curve, pause to go through the uprights. Come on, man.
Mm,
Y'all did all that running those damn plays, and then right when you only had a few seconds left, you get a fucking false start. That moves you back 5 yards. Now you setting the kick up for disaster. Cause like he comfortable with where y'all got him, man.
pure
Y'all ended up
pressure
having
on
to
them.
move
Put number of
five
pure
yards
pressure
back.
on them.
Right. That man got in there, kicked that motherfucker wide right. And I'm looking at the head coach. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. I'm like, I'm telling my wife, I said, this shit over with. It's over with. Before they even went into overtime, I said that shit is over with, bro. Because with a team like Georgia, when you get them down, you got to finish them off, bro. Pause. And
it's just like
because
when you fight somebody, they on the ground, you don't let them back up.
you don't let them back up, bro. Them folks
Oh, man.
knocked Georgia down, and then First of all, even before it came down to the field goal kick, when they um when they let Georgia go down there and score, like bro, I don't know what the fuck the DBs were doing. It's like they were asleep. It's almost like Tennessee needed to call a timeout to settle the DBs down because they were fucking up, blown coverages, and then when they scored a touchdown, it was over with. You knew they were gonna get the 2 point conversion because of momentum. They got
Mm.
the shit. Tennessee got the ball. They drove down, had a chance to kick game-winning field goal, fucked it up. And once that happened, I said, boy, 100% of the momentum is on Georgia's side. There's no way Georgia's losing this game. Tennessee going to overtime. They have a weak ass drive. They kick a field goal. Finally, the field goal kicker make the damn field goal. But then I'm like, nah, 3 points in this situation ain't good enough to beat Georgia. I'm like, all Georgia needs is a touchdown. Bro, they right there. They finna score, bro. Them folks went right in there, put that shit in the end zone. Game over with. And I'm like, damn, Tennessee, y'all had this shit won, but shit's terrible, man. It was a great game, but if I'm Tennessee, I'm like, bro, we fucked this shit up. And just like what Neek said when he texted us, he said that this could be the turning point in the wrong direction for Tennessee. And just like what y'all said, this is a
Mm.
confidence booster for Gunnar Stockton and Georgia. But for Tennessee, like this might be the beginning of the end for them just because of shitty coaching, shitty play calls, and the kicker not doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly. Even Kirby Smart, when he talked about it, he said, "quote I feel almost like we have to apologize because they knew, George knew that Tennessee should have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee they ain't pulled it out in the end. So,
Mm-hmm.
and Georgia racked up by 502 total yards,
Yep.
198 rushing, 304 passing, converted on fourth downs, 5 for 5 for the season under Kirby Smart. The defense tightened in the second half, holding Tennessee to just 17 points after the first quarter. So, yep, that was a good game. But hey, Tennessee, well, we're gonna see how you bounce back. It's this weekend or whenever your game is next.
Right.
Uh, let's move on to LSU versus Florida game. Before we start talking about the game, Brian Kelly apologized for Florida versus LSU post game uh, tirade. Where he talk about uh his team won and what can everybody always talk about what can we do better or y'all not happy because we winning in the game is always something. What's y'all thoughts on Brian Kelly going off?
Brian Kelly gotta be mad with himself. Shit. Brian Kelly gotta be mad with himself. I mean, I understand his frustration, but I mean, there ain't nobody lying. Like they telling the truth. Like
Mm-hmm.
one thing about Brian Kelly, like he cool. I ain't got no problems with him, but he be a little too sensitive sometimes in his interviews. Like, and look, bro, this the SEC and the SEC media, like they're just as rough. They gonna ask you questions. They gonna ask why Nussmeier ain't doing what he's supposed to do. They gonna ask these questions. So like you can't fold all the time and be mad and slip up. Just say yeah, the offense we getting off to a rough start, but um we'll get it together. We 2-0. We happy. Let's keep this train moving. Thank you to the defense for saving us,
It's
and let's
all
keep it
part of the
rolling.
job.
I was laughing at Paul Feinberg. Paul said, I can't talk too much because I used to be one of those reporters now that asking them type of questions. Paul Feinberg was stupid. Still got that hair. You need to shave it off. What we got? What we got? So LSU won 20-10 versus Florida. The LSU took care of business with the 2010 win over Florida at Tiger Stadium. Of course, the Tigers were ranked number 3 on a dominant second quarter and clutch defensive play to seal the victory. Garnett threw for 23-yard touchdown to Zavon Thompson in the second quarter. Deshaun Spears made a play at the game with a 58-yard pick six off Florida quarterback DJ Ladway in the third quarter. Damian Ramos nailed 2 field goals, including a 45-yard at time expired in the first half. There's some of the key highlights. So, with that being said, LSU improves to a 3-0 while Florida drops to 1-2. The Tigers now look ahead to a non-conference matchup before diving deeper in SEC play. First question: you think this is it for Florida as far as a decent season or a winning season? Put it like that. They ain't going to playoff, but as far as a decent winning season, I think this is it for Florida.
I think they can still make it a little decent. I think they should take on the role of spoiler. I don't know what their remaining schedule look like, but I mean, and it seemed like they kind of tried to embrace it, against LSU. It was like, we done kind of messed up now, so let's see if we can spoil spoil it for the rest of the people. So, they came out, played hard, like for Lagway to throw 5 picks. And I told y'all on last podcast, I said LSU defense gonna make it tough on Lagway. I said, and I quote, I said Lagway gonna have a bad day, and he had a bad day. And but for Lagway to throw 5 picks and for LSU to only have 20 points, and if you take away that pick six, that means the score would have been 13-10, which means that even after 4 picks, Florida would have still had a chance. So the LSU. I know you asked a question about Florida, but LSU offense they gotta step it up. But Florida, I think they gonna play the role as spoiler. I don't see them getting nowhere near the playoffs. They just gotta keep playing. Napier is coaching for his job now, so he
Mm-hmm.
gotta get some big wins or he gone.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I'm gonna ask y'all some questions before we move on. We're gonna move on now, but we'll move on to some other things. How y'all think Oklahoma look this year?
Oklahoma is surprising me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
soon.
they Yeah, the quarterback is doing well. The quarterback got some heart too. So, you know, I, I'm surprised by him. So we'll see.
I know they beat
Uh-huh.
Temple this past weekend 38-17. But
Hmm.
they be looking good. So but it's gonna be a test this weekend. It's gonna be a test. We're gonna see how good each team is. Well,
Right,
how they been playing the last year, they still don't matter. But we'll see.
right.
Auburn will play Oklahoma this weekend. And both of
Let's
them are
go.
ranked. So
Look, look, and then Auburn's starting quarterback was with Oklahoma last year, so that team know his tendencies and everything. So I expect Oklahoma to come out here and know what to do against Arnold and Auburn. But I gotta go with Oklahoma anyway because they playing the Auburn Tigers. I gotta go with Oklahoma.
and Oklahoma, so you're going for the other crimps.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's Scarlet. I think it's Scarlet and White. I'm going with
Scarlet
the
red.
Scarlet team. Yeah,
Scarlet red. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Auburn that game, but I'm not 100% on it. Oklahoma is at number 11. Auburn just cracked it. Pause at number 22. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see. The quarterback looking for Auburn looking pretty good, but
Hmm.
they haven't been tested like that really.
And
So
I know he gonna want some revenge against Oklahoma. So it's gonna be a pretty good game. We'll see.
yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
see.
Hmm.
Some people gonna have time for it, and Alabama not playing this weekend. They gonna have a little time uh,
Yeah.
to look at it. Uh, let's go out to SEC for a little bit.
Hmm.
Uh, Miami versus South Florida. Uh, I think South Florida's a Miami too, if I'm correct. So both teams out of Miami. Number 5 Miami survives Oh, my screen just went dark. But anyway, Miami gonna play South Florida. Uh, is it this weekend? Yeah, this weekend. Who y'all think y'all gonna get out of that guy?
Wait a minute. No, Miami just played South Florida.
Yeah,
South
fly.
Florida.
I was tripping. Uh, yeah, they just played South Florida.
It was a blowout, but
It was.
God, dog. Yeah, I
Yep.
ain't gonna lie. I didn't. I picked South Florida to win that game, boy.
So
Hold
what?
on.
49-12. Yeah,
Yeah,
they beat 49-12.
I mean, tore them up, but I'm talking about at halftime. It was 28-6, so it was already over with at halftime, bro. Third quarter it was 35-6 still. So Miami just came to play, bro. I was wrong, dead wrong on that game, but
You said you wrong on that game.
yeah, I was wrong on that. But I don't know what South Florida team showed up, but you know what, man, they could have just been tired. I mean,
Uh,
they had the strongest or the hardest 3 week stretch pause of any team. So for them to go 2-1 in this 3 week stretch of difficult opponents is impressive. But they got destroyed. So
Yeah,
for sure.
I see Miami gonna play against Florida. Miami gonna play against Florida this weekend.
yep. So, this is Florida chance to play the spoiler.
Yeah, Miami gonna play against Florida. So it's gonna be an in-state showdown. Number 5,
Mm-hmm.
Miami versus unranked but dangerous Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Miami now put Florida's redemption at art. Uh, I still got Miami gonna beat Florida though.
Oh,
I
for
don't
sure.
know it's gonna be a blowout, but they're gonna beat them though. They're gonna beat them though. Who we got? What they saying? Oregon versus Oregon State. Man, that ain't no game. Oregon win that game.
See up to end.
I got one for you. Who gonna win out of Tennessee versus UAB?
Put them sliders. You put them game sliders for UAB all the way up.
Mhm.
Who they playing? Who they playing? I forgot just that
Tennessee
fast.
playing UAB.
Yo, yeah, they put them sliders all the way up.
I
Tennessee,
think
Tennessee still gonna win.
if I'm not mistaken, it's hold on, that can't be right. Isn't it Tennessee or UAB? I'm pretty sure it's in Tennessee.
Let's
I don't
see.
think the folk got Tennessee coming to UAB. I don't think so. Oh yeah, I know I want to trip it. They're playing at Tennessee. I'm
I'm
about to
supposed
say.
to go to UAB.
Yeah.
Hey, that's no knock against UAB, but they gonna have to. If it would cost UAB a lot of money to host Tennessee,
Mhm.
Hey,
so
man.
they ain't finna pay that.
That
But seeing
old
this,
UAB still play at Legion Field. They got their own stadium.
no, they got a brand new stadium they play in.
It look nice, kind
Yeah, it's nice. I've been there. It's just dope.
of. Oh, well, UAB, I got to do a little bit better, bringing more people in. Bring more people in. So,
Hmm.
highest. By the
Oh
way, when we talk about those stadiums, highest South Stadium. You been to New Stadium?
no, man, it's crazy. I hadn't even been there yet, but I plan on going this year at some point.
I still hold a bias to that for some reason. That's just me personally. There ain't no reason. I just do.
But Junior, it's ranked in the top five as far as stadiums. Like no, like not excuse me, stadium experience. Like as far as like Yelp ratings and Google reviews and all that.
Really?
South Alabama is ranked top five in the country, and then number
Ooh.
four, I think, and number four in the country.
I
They
want
have replay screens and all that, don't they?
Yeah.
to kill them. Let me ask you this. I
Mm.
wonder why it's mobile. They put a mobile culture in in the stadium a little bit? What they doing? I hope they ain't stealing our idea about the Mardi Gras uniforms and shit.
No, they don't. Man, that is a good idea, but no, they don't use the Mardi Gras uniforms. Junior, what they do is they use like the battleship, like the on some of the uniforms, like on the helmets, they have the battleship on there.
Mm.
And but I think I don't have y'all Junior, have you ever been to UAB before?
I've been to UAB, but I ain't never been in their stadium. Though.
Okay,
I've been
well
to
I'm gonna talk about the area in UAB, like close to where the stadium is in the school. I think that's where South is headed to, like to be a college, city like how Birmingham is as far as UAB goes. And I think in a few years that's what South is gonna look like because that's why South is buying up all that land down there by the stadium and stuff and places here in town, like that's what they're trying to do. So I can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, because I remember going to South years ago. As far as on campus, as far as campus life, it was decent. As far
Hmm.
as like it was decent, and I'm pretty sure that was over at least 10 to 13 years ago. So I'm pretty sure it's South is pretty nice on campus.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice as far as on campus.
Hmm.
Hmm. So let's try to move on. What other topics we gonna hit before we leave out this evening? What we got? What we got? We pretty much hit all of them. Paul,
Oh,
pretty much knocked them all out. Uh, yeah, we pretty much knocked them all out. Okay. Before we leave out, what are some more up and coming things that y'all waiting for this year in college football?
say that one more time, Jay.
What are some upcoming things that y'all waiting for this year in college football? What are some things y'all look forward to?
I'm ready for SEC play.
Yeah, getting deep in the SEC play. So yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
they're gonna be the tell sign on who's working with what. So uh, I believe Georgia's gonna last. I believe Georgia's that team, but we don't know how Alabama is. I think LSU is a decent team, but they haven't been tested like Georgia this past weekend yet. That
Hmm.
that caliber, same level caliber team.
Hmm.
What other team out there? Oklahoma. We don't know how good Oklahoma Auburn is. You won't know till they start playing each other.
Right.
So
But
you
I,
ain't
I
go ahead.
I will say this, Junior. If those teams are as good as advertised, it's gonna give some of those other teams a chance to. I'm talking about the teams outside the SEC to creep up and be able to make their way into the playoffs because while these teams beating each other up in the SEC, it's gonna allow some of them other teams, them 11-1 teams and stuff, to maybe have a chance to squeeze in. Oh,
And then it just say they start to get that like last year. They're gonna start changing some rules up too because it's not fair to like to the SEC. Like these teams beating each other up. Then you gotta play
mm-hmm,
somebody like Ohio State.
mm-hmm.
And they got the same caliber as like Georgia, Alabama, but they don't be tested as much. And they
That's
going
why.
just straight in. I'm like, come on, that's not fair.
Yeah, that's why the committee is weighing wins and losses now against strong opponents. So like if you undefeated, so if like I'm just gonna say a team like if Northwestern is undefeated, they probably still won't even make the playoffs because of their quality of wins. But then you got a two-loss SEC team, and they lost to like Georgia and LSU.
Mm,
Then those two losses are gonna mean more than if a team that don't play anybody goes undefeated. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hmm.
So what would the committee whoever this committee is, I think not D. I don't want to say Deion. Nick Saban was talking about it at one point. There need to be some structure because some of them looking at the downside. Like one of the complaints we always said is they're gonna take the effect from the games during the year, the regular season,
Mm-hmm.
which that would
Mm-hmm.
make, if people don't look at it or not, that would make college football.
Right.
You know, you're going to play
Yeah.
LSU, going to play Florida, LSU going to play Alabama. But if they know these games don't mean as much as they used to, the
Mm-hmm.
hype going die down. And like I said a couple weeks ago, you're gonna turn it to college basketball. Like it don't hold no weight. It's a regular season game. I
Right.
understand we
Yeah.
got playoffs now, so uh, yeah,
But you all right over there?
I understand you got playoffs now, but you know the essence of college football is doing regular season games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
um, they got to do some more rectifying according to that. I don't know what they're gonna do and what they got up their sleeve. Uh,
They
on
got
what
something up their sleeve though.
I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. You know,
You talking about the committee, right?
yeah, the committee.
I think it's building to a 16 team. I think the way they're doing stuff now is almost going to force you. It's almost going to force you to eventually have a 16 team playoff because, um, and I don't even mind it if we being honest because, um, 16 teams, the more the merrier. It makes for good Cinderella stories. It makes for because all you got to do is gain some momentum, man. You never know. So
Mhm.
so I think that's what the build up, and I think that's what they're cooking up. I think they're cooking up for a 16 team playoff.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
fellas, any of y'all having lasting words before we get off?
No sir. No sir.
Y'all good?
Let's go
Well,
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
we gonna see this weekend. Well, fellas, this is it. This is the First Drive podcast. We may be back Saturday. We may not. We'll see. So to the end, see y'all later.
All right.
All right.
Right.